Isn't it fascinating how the mind learns so effortlessly, so naturally, like the way a river flows to the ocean, without hesitation, without doubt, just moving, carried effortlessly? Because you've already begun to notice, haven't you? The expectations shape reality. The lens you choose determines what you see. And when a person, someone very much like you, begins to shift, ever so slightly, like the turning of a key, something unlocks. And that old belief, that stress and struggle must always be expected, begins to fade, like mist in the morning sun, because deep down there's a part of you that already knows ease exists, flow is real, and the way to find it is not by bracing, not by resisting, but by allowing. Because what if, just what if, the good times don't have to end? What if joy isn't a fragile thing, but a self-renewing force, like a flame, that doesn't diminish when shared, but grows brighter, warmer, stronger? And as you imagine, someone just like you, stepping into that realization, feeling it, absorbing it, like roots drawing in nourishment, you begin to wonder, what happens when you stop fearing happiness and start feeding it? When you stop holding back and start leaning in? Because happiness, it isn't something that runs out. It's something that runs over, spilling, expanding, multiplying, like laughter in a crowded room, like a melody that lingers long after the music has stopped. And you can almost sense it now, can't you? That shift, like a door swinging open, a breath of fresh air, a deeper knowing that was always there, waiting. Because now, in this moment, something inside you is changing, unfolding, embracing the truth. That happiness, it isn't the absence of trouble, it's the presence of flow. And the more you express it, the more you create it, the more you let go, the more you receive. And isn't it interesting how easily that recognition settles in, how naturally it integrates into the very fabric of your being, as if it were always there, just waiting for you to notice. And you can, can't you? And you know, don't you, how the mind has this remarkable way of discovering things it already knew, but perhaps had just forgotten, like finding an old key in a drawer you haven't opened in years, and suddenly realizing it was always there, waiting. Because isn't it curious how the very act of expecting stress creates tension, like holding your breath, waiting for something to go wrong, as if preparing for the storm somehow controls the weather. And yet, somewhere deep inside, there's another knowing, a knowing that understands. Life doesn't have to be a battle. Struggle isn't the price you pay for peace. And ease isn't something you earn. It's something you allow. Like a river that doesn't try to flow, it just flows. Like the sky that doesn't wonder if it deserves to be blue, it just is. And just as the sun doesn't ration its light, happiness doesn't run out, it only expands the more you let it shine. Because you've seen it before, haven't you? How a smile given freely creates another, and another. How a laugh unrestrained spreads across a room, like ripples in water, unstoppable, inevitable. And so you begin to wonder, what happens when you stop counting happiness, as if it were something to be saved, stored, measured? Because what if, just what if, happiness isn't something to hold back, but something to let go, like a breath released, like a wave returning to the sea? And the old idea that happiness is limited already begins to feel different, distant, as if it were never truly yours, just a borrowed thought that no longer fits, because now you can feel it, a shift, a softening, a realization settling in, that the more you embrace joy, the more it grows, the more you express it, the more it amplifies, like stepping into the warmth, instead of bracing against the cold, like opening your hands instead of clenching them tight. Isn't it wonderful how naturally that happens? How easily that understanding unfolds, like a flower turning towards the sun, without effort, without resistance. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else is possible now?